Welcome. I am Todd Fletcher, the development lead for iPatternStudio. Today, I'll be walking you through some of the exciting new features of iPatternStudio 1.7. We've been hard at work to make iPatternStudio the leading digital management software for quilters everywhere. We're excited about the features available to you with this new release. So let's get started. If you're updating iPatternStudio, you'll notice the first big update. iPatternStudio will take a few moments to save a preview or cache of each pattern in your library. This will only run once and allows for much faster browsing while working in your pattern library. If you're running iPatternStudio for the very first time, it will launch very quickly. Now you will get this quick start dialog. You want to go through these instructions and make sure you create an account and register all your quilting machines before you move forward with using the software. Another big update to the pattern previews is the ability to choose between 3 line thicknesses. By default, patterns are digitized or rendered at a medium line thickness. This can be changed. You can double click on the pattern itself, or once you've clicked on it, you can click on the information option in the toolbar. This will launch the pattern edit dialog. You'll notice just below the pattern image, you have the stroke width. You can choose between thin, normal, and thick. Some patterns are unusually dense and need to be rendered or previewed at a thin thickness for the line. Another change to this edit dialog screen is we now have the embedded pattern comments available here to view in case they get cut off in the right panel of the software. These comments are provided by the author and in many times have very important information about the pattern use and other details. Another addition to the software is we now have size. This would be given the dimensions of the pattern as digitized by the author when the pattern was created. This can also be viewed in the bottom of the right panel in the pattern library. If you make any changes to this edit screen, including stroke width, when you click Save, that change will be updated in the library. And as I said, you can see the information here that's embedded in the pattern and the pattern size. If at any time you feel the need to refresh your pattern thumbnail cache, you can go to Help, Rebuild Thumbnail Cache. Remember that the time it takes to render the images will depend on the number of patterns in your library. Another big update in 1.7 is the addition of pages to the pattern library. You'll notice numbers at the top of the library. To improve browsing speed, iPatternStudio displays patterns in pages. The number of patterns in the page can be changed. When working with your library, different computers with different processing power and memory will allow for more patterns or less patterns. You'll need to find what setting works well for your computer. To make changes to the number of patterns listed in a page, you go to Preferences, or in Windows you'll want to go to Edit and Options. Here on the Preferences screen, down here at the bottom you have List Count. By default it limits to 100 patterns per page. You of course can change that to less. If you click on All, it'll eliminate the paging altogether and list all patterns in your library all at once. Perhaps the most significant update to iPatternStudio with 1.7 is the addition of many new pattern formats. This opens up doors to many major brands. As of 1.7, iPatternStudio supports CompuQuilter, any DXF valid machine, the HandyQuilter Pro Stitcher, the Innova Autopilot's PAT file, Machine Quilting Robot's MQR file, the PC Quilter, the QBot format, the Shirley Stitcher as it reads the QLI file, the Side Saddle, and of course, Statler Stitcher. Whenever you add a file or a folder to the software, it can be any of those formats, and it will group together all the formats for the same pattern file name together here in the software. As you click through a pattern library, you'll notice over on the right panel that Available Formats displays what pattern formats are inside the software for this pattern. If you want to be able to export the pattern and work with it, you'll need to add a quilting machine registered as that format. You can do that by clicking on Quilting Machines, clicking the plus sign, choosing the type of machine that you need, type in a name, and click Save. Once you have registered your quilting machines and you want to export a pattern, you just right-click on the pattern and click Export Pattern. Here, if you have multiple quilting machines, you'll need to select which machine to export to. This will allow the iPatternStudio to know which file format to export. So if I click on my machine and click OK, and then select the location of where to export. Then I'll get the pattern file in the correct format exported, which I can then save over to my quilting machine. We've also updated a few things with keywords. iPatternStudio now supports up to 10 levels deep of pattern keywords. So you can get many levels of description for each pattern. Also, the right-click functionality on a keyword gives you this menu. This will allow for much faster actions when working with your library. The final exciting feature of the upgrade is when we click on the Shop for Patterns and view the Pattern Marketplace, we've added two new features, a wish list and a cart. To use the wish list, you select a pattern that you're interested in purchasing. But you're not quite sure if you want to purchase it right now. So you can click on Add to Wish List. As you can see, the wish list number has been incremented. If I click on Wish List, it'll show me each of the patterns that are available, and now we see that pattern is available in our wish list. Once we've decided that this wish list is something we want to purchase, we can go ahead and click Add to Cart. It removes it from our wish list and adds it to the patterns that we're interested in purchasing. Now I don't have to purchase right now, and if I log in later, these same patterns will be available in my cart. But if I want to go back and shop some more, I can click on the Shop More button, and it will take me back to where I was so that I can continue browsing for patterns. But if you are ready to purchase, you can click on Cart and click on Purchase, and then it will go ahead and charge the single charge and allow you to download all your patterns. One thing I want to show you about the store, which is very important. Whenever you select a pattern, be aware of the available formats that are for that pattern. These are the formats that this particular pattern and this particular author has made available. If you purchase this pattern and do not have a machine that supports this format, you will still be able to purchase the pattern. And when the author does upload a pattern that is the correct format for your machine, you will automatically be able to download it. As you can see, this pattern is available in 3 different formats. And when you do purchase a pattern that's available in multiple formats, it will allow you to download all the formats so that you can use them whenever you will. And of course, as always with our store, we keep a history of any patterns you've purchased, and you're able to re-download those at a later date. Along with these many enhancements, these many feature additions continue to make iPatternStudio the best digital pattern management system in the industry. We trust you will find it an essential tool in your creative work. Please contact us with any questions at support@iPatternStudio.com or visit iPatternStudio.com today.